What's going on, everybody? It's another episode of SLTV. It's been a while here. We miss you guys. We miss you guys quite a bit here. I got at Hit the Bid Radio, aka Kenny Glick, on with me, who's been on vacation for a decent amount of time, but he's back at it with a great story for you guys, holding short in today's nonsense here. We're going to just dive right into this. Let's talk about the Fed minutes here, getting a little early release here. Algos took it up 20 handles back up to 210 on the SPY and then fucking dumped at the end of the day. And our boy Kenny held short the whole damn time. How did you do this, Kenny? How did you do this?
Ambient. And
Ambient. All right, that's that new shit. Is that what the kids are doing?
I was cracked out drooling on the couch, and kind of like, I thought I hallucinated when I saw the Qs were back at 111. I was like, wait a second, what? Then I slid back down. I thought it was a dream. And I get a text, I'm shorting into this move from my buddy. I'm like, what move? What were you talking about? And I'm like, what happened? And I got stopped out of sun. The only thing I had on was I have October puts waiting for the inevitable crash of the market. But the only way to stay short is to not pay attention. So I got stopped out of sun, but I'm still with I'm looking, I think the Qs are due to go back to test that 106 area. So I'm buying October 108 puts, and that's it. I mean, I cashed out of the market before I left for vacation, which has been a great move. I got out of the Qs near the highs. Right. I got out all that UVXY because it's just a bullshit product. And that's the other thing about this weird about the market. If the market was still going to go down, why is the VIX still just languishing? That's what I don't know.
Right. And that rolls us right into the next topic here is that most of the sectors out there and most names that we watch on a daily basis, they all look like absolute shit. They've all sold off a considerable amount, but it's like everybody's still waiting for the SPX to trade. And a lot of people that trade some of the large cap names are just stuck in purgatory right now with these light volumes and then these ridiculous ranges. Meanwhile, all those names just keep pushing lower, like the whole oil complex. What do you got? You got the whole all materials here, steel, coal, all these commodities here. Yeah. What else here? What else are we missing here that is just selling? All these casinos. Like, dude, have you looked at Wynn and LVS lately? Like, Wynn is way back to like 2008 fucking prices, bro.
Yeah, and they should be. That thing got a little bit out of control also with the whole McCall. Everything was about McCall.
Dude, and how bad does China look right now, man? I mean, we have seen dip buyers come in and buy aggressively like FXI calls for the dip, and that ETF just looks like shit every single day. I think it's at fresh recent lows from that wild move a couple of weeks ago.
Right, but again, what's crazy is that we have real reasons. These are not just perceived reasons that the market should go down. And we've had more volatility just on like the Ukraine crisis and Greece, for instance, a couple of months ago when the UVXY and the VIX was going nuts. If the market should be going down at any time, it's now. We have got real problems. But I think what you just said is that we're having a stealth correction. It's like the stocks that need to be sold are being sold. It's just like but the Netflixes and the Googles are holding the NASDAQ together, and the Dow's down 600-700 points, so it's not like it's gone up. Right. But I don't know what I'm expecting at this point. I guess I just wanted that washout that we're accustomed to, but where the dip buyers don't get paid.
But they finally do not get paid. I mean, I don't know if you were around for that monster dump out to 205 on the SPY. This was earlier. You remember when Apple broke through 110, and then we got all those death cross, comments from Market Watch and everywhere. And then subsequently, the next couple of days here, we rally right back SPY 210. By the way, ironically, the death cross talks are back on Market Watch here. What do you got to say to your lovely friend, the Death Cross?
I love all the names of stuff. Still, my favorite's the Hindenburg Omen.
The Hindenburg Omen. By the way, have you heard of this? It's like a Jewish term here, and it's supposedly the end of the world here in 2 weeks for September here. This is kind of like an astrology thing, but it has a Jewish name to it. I'm gonna find it. But go on your rant here about the Death Cross.
I'm not too sure about the Jewish thing, but yeah, I mean, But they've been trying to, I don't really even know exactly what it pertains to. I know it's we're you know, with the moving averages and whatnot. I'm not buying into anything. Not literally. I'm not buying into the idea that this market's going to get hammered until I see the VIX actually going up. And, you know, that's really what it comes down to. But the way I'm looking at it, we were talking about this before. There are so many stocks that have not only gone down, they've crashed. So we are in a, it seems to me we're in a bear market.
Yes.
Just that no one's told the Dow and the QQQ about it yet.
Right.
And one of these days, someone's going to want to take profits in Google and Netflix and Chipotle, and we'll have a real sell-off where people are worried. Like there's still, I don't think anybody's worried when the market goes down. It'll be back up 3 days. That needs to go away. That's when we'll actually start going down.
So just to throw it out there, I mean, what is the rotation into? So we've seen a rotation into some of those consumer discretionary names. Like if you look at like Smuckers or, you know, a couple of these other names, there's the insurance names. So like HIG, you remember you love your HIG and AIG. Oh, yeah. Those things are still getting bid up, man. Like Prudential still looks good. Like the financial sector to me hasn't really crashed yet. I wouldn't say money is kind of actively going in here, but then obviously you have your high beta names like this Chipotle, which by the way, can't even sell. It can't even budge lower. And then you still got your biotechs. You still got your biotechs that are still kind of amped up here a little bit.
Right, yeah.
So what else you got? Anything else out there that you have that that you can see sort of a rotation into? We're seeing some rotation into treasuries. Anything else that you would buy? Like, what would you buy right now?
I wouldn't buy anything. You wouldn't
buy shit. You wouldn't buy shit.
No, I have no money long in the market right now, except for that, you know, that Israeli security company, SPCB. That's all I got. You know, no Alcoa. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to buy Alcoa under $12.50, and here it is at $9, and I'm still thinking, don't go near it. And I'm going to be able to buy Alcoa. I think Alcoa at $7.50. I'm going to have to buy it if it gets to $7.50, and you know, hang on to it for a year or so. If it gets back to 10, it's a great investment at that point.
So, are you at this point, now that obviously we're kind of bearish here? Are you still even interested in your short sort of UVXY call kind of thing, or that's just tossed out of the window?
No, the UVXY. If anything, the options are getting to the point where they're kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Know? Because if this thing does bounce, you're going to get it back to $40, $50 again in no time. So I'm looking at, you know, I was actually looking at like a $45 call for like $2 out like a couple of months from now. You know, it was like $1 and change, and now it's like $2.50. I think it's actually a better buy, except the fact that the product itself is bullshit.
Is bullshit. All right, guys. So listen, interact on Twitter. Ask us any questions that you want, any names that you want us to discuss. I just pulled this up. So it's called the Shemitah, and dude, it's like a biblical calendar thing. So check this out: the last day of the Shemitah year.
Right.
I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know if you know what that means. Many are concerned about this date because we have seen giant stock market crashes on the last day of the previous two Shemitah cycles. And I don't even know if I'm saying this shit right, but this is.
I'm a bad Jew.
What does it mean to be a good Jew these days? I don't know what that means. You know what I mean?
You don't eat pork, I guess, right?
All right, so we got a shout out here from @Vader7X saying top 3 frustration trades. I think we could throw short UVXY out there. I think we could throw any long that you're holding for more than 2 days. What else can we throw out there? What else are top 3 frustration trades? Dip buy on Twitter. I mean, come on. Whoa. That thing is trading 27 now. People are still buying calls every single day. And let's add in your soon. How many people are long soon out there?
Yeah.
Buying calls in soon. Talk to us about soon.
This is a stock that's driving a friend of mine absolutely batshit. He loves it, and it goes down 2 points. He sells it, it goes up 2 points on some news. Then he buys it on the news, it goes down 2 points. I mean, it seems like months and months of this. You know what? When it's that frustrating, generally it goes lower. So I'm like, when you're frustrated, that's what I think what's going to happen to this market. Again, going back, this frustration, I think this time finally will lead to a sell-off. But, like I said before, we are going down. It's not like we're not. I just don't I don't know what I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for more. I need to see more of it.
Right, right. To get aggressively on a short, and you know, just to add on your point, like I have waited, and you know me, like I trade all the large cap names. I'm waiting for Apple. I'm waiting for Facebook. I'm waiting for Priceline to give me an entry for a 200-point sell-off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm waiting for, and I'm waiting for all these high beta names. Meanwhile, in let's say you know, lower beta names, like are you looking at the Chevron? Look at this Chevron. This shit goes down 2-3 points every day, and the weekly options are stacked. There's so much money in buying puts every single day on some of these horrible energy names.
Right.
I should be rotating to trade some of these, but I'm sitting here waiting for some of these high betas to just get beaten to high heaven. You know what I mean? So for example, like VRX, all these you know, these biotechs that I want to short the piss out of, the Chipotle and all that kind of stuff. So I would say the top frustration trade for me is to not be able to get heavy with $1 million on the short side and be able to go to sleep tomorrow and just, you know what I mean, take 2 months off and just hold that bitch. You know what I mean? That's what my top frustration trade I would say is.
Yeah, I mean, because you get days like this. You know, I had 100
days like this.
I had 100 puts. I got stopped out of 80 of them. I mean, I made a little bit of money, but
right,
it's insane. I never thought. I was like, oh my god, why didn't I buy 500? Why not buy 1,000? Next thing you know, I get stopped out. So it's really hard. At least I got a little bit left, but this is gotta be one of the most bizarre environments. And you know, I've never liked asking why this is happening, why that's happening. Kind of keeps you out of it.
Yeah, no, we're traders, man. We never ask why. And to any retail guys out there, or any of you newer traders, like you can't be asking why. And retail guys are getting smoked here in this kind of environment because everybody wants to hold shit. They want to hold shit overnight. You want to hold your soon here. You want to go for a dip buy. You want to, you know, you want to do all. You want to hold your FXI calls overnight. And people are just getting smoked. It's getting smoked left and right.
Yeah, I mean, and this whole lie that we've been force fed about this global recovery that's driving these markets, and everybody, you know, that story's kind of died. But what global recovery? We don't need shit. We don't need oil. We don't need natural gas. We don't need. We certainly don't need steel or aluminum. We don't need. I don't know. We don't need copper. We don't need anything except content on Netflix.
All we need, baby, is internet and motherfucking content and media content. Memes and Instagram is all we fucking need
That's
now,
it.
man.
And we don't need Twitter, which is, you would think they would figure it out, considering Twitter is like the news source central. That's where people get their news from. That's where people get information from. How can these people not figure out how to make money with this goddamn product? I mean it's the same thing with AOL. I was like, they were like the first people. They had 2 billion subscribers, or whoever, at one point. Like, how could this company ever fail? They cornered the internet. They figured out a way to fuck it up. But it is a bizarro world. But we haven't talked about the one thing, and we've had this conversation already, because I'm always looking for the market to go down. You know, and again, I don't want people to think that I'm bearish. I'm short-term bearish now. I think if we do get the sell-off, and then we do get that moment of frightening, will the market ever go back up? That's when we'll probably start going back up. I think we're still going to rally, you know, come next year into 2017. I think we're going to rally. I just want this market to go down right now.
Right.
Let's get it over with, so then we can build from there. But,
all right, so let's switch gears a little bit here, and let's bring in some hot topics right now. We've had a lot of people saying that, and even you yourself, like during the presidential, like we're not going to go down until the presidential elections are over.
Right.
You know, are you still on that wavelength? And what do you think about obviously Trump and Clinton here, just going at it? It's just quite entertaining here every single day.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna vote for Hillary Clinton no matter what, but now that Trump's in the race and the stuff that's coming out of his mouth, I love it, and obviously other people love it too, because he's saying things that other people are frightened to say. He comes off as an asshole, but he's still saying things that need to be said. Political correctness is ruining the nation. Gotta love him. Gotta love.
That's a big one. That's a big one. I can't believe that you can campaign on some shit like that. You can campaign to become the president of the United States off of statements like that, though. You know what I mean? Like, those are kind of statements that a comedian would make. Like, you remember Jerry Seinfeld? Jerry Seinfeld was on Jimmy Kimmel just the other day saying that same shit. It was like he started that argument. And then he was like, you know, and then Trump is now taking it and using it as his fucking campaign motherfucking slogan here.
Oh, man. When he said, I'm going to build a wall around Mexico.
Oh, man.
Criminals, Mexico, you're fired. I can't believe he hasn't said you're fired to somebody yet. I want him to just say something, because he hasn't addressed, like, terrorism yet and the Middle East. And I was wondering, Saudi Arabia, we showed you how to find the oil. Guess what? We're coming to Saudi Arabia, and we're taking the oil. Arabs, you're fired. I just want him to say some shit like that. That would be the best. I mean, just go completely batshit insane. Terrorists, we know where you are. You're fired. We're coming for you. If I was another nation, I don't think he's going to win. This is all going to end badly for him, because he can't keep this up. Eventually, he's going to have to get a little bit more serious.
Exactly.
I mean, all this stuff he's saying is fantastic to get everybody up in arms.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun, at least.
But it's good for culture shift too. Remember, like, we've changed like our social structure within, you know, months now. You know what I mean? So for your example right there of the whole political correctness thing, like, that can sort of sweep social media, and that's now the new cultural craze, right? It's like, fuck being politically correct, and let's all just go out and start talking some shit again. Right. But now, like, what we're seeing in the public, you know, in the public eye, that people are getting in trouble for not being politically correct. You know. But Trump now is able to say these things, and I don't understand how he's not getting into trouble in it for it. Like he's bringing all these people behind him, and meanwhile, like, let's say Hillary Clinton, like, there was a bad email or some shit, or some football player, some fucked up gay comment. You know, he gets suspended for 4 games, or, you know, we're still seeing that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the lamest part of it all. And then when Trump, I forgot what he said, but when he said something about, and everybody implied that he was telling the woman that she was on her period or whatnot. Maybe he wasn't. We're reading deeper into what he's saying. It might not even be what he was trying to say. When he was saying blood coming out of your ears, that means you're like in a rage. That's what he probably meant. I don't think he was saying something about her being a bitch to him. But you know, they'll do whatever, you know, they'll turn it around into whatever they want with the media. But no doubt. This is the most fun I've had since George Bush, and I miss that guy. You know, because I mean, as much as I used to love Obama, based on the fact that the market's gone up and we haven't had a terrorist attack, we killed Osama bin Laden. We got to give the guy some credit. But what has he done? He hasn't done nothing. He's done nothing. I miss. Gonna smoke him out. Go and get him. I love him, the way I mean, everything about Bush, I miss that guy, because he gave me hope that any idiot could be president. Hey, maybe I can be president. But what we've come to realize that if you don't have $50 million and another 100 million raised by your cronies, you can't run for president. So that lie that we tell our kids, well, if you study hard and you do well in school, you too could be president. No, you can't. Sorry, kids. Unless you have 50 mil liquid, you ain't starting to be president.
You can't even start. You can't even start. Trump made a comment on that too, about all the money and the special interests and all that kind of stuff. As soon as you give somebody $1 million, $5 million, or whatever, they're coming for those favors. You know, they're coming for those favors no matter what. And Trump was the only one, you know, to put it out there on the line and just be like, look, listen, let's not bullshit this. This is what the fuck happens.
But that's going to come back to haunt him.
I respected that. I did respect that.
Yeah, but that's going to come back to haunt him, because that's how it is. So he's going to have to play that game eventually.
He has to. Absolutely.
And he can't say, I don't want to be a part of that, but then you will be a part of it. That's because that's the way it works. It's great to point it out, but that's the way it works. You're like, no doubt. I don't know. I think he's ruining the Republican Party, because they don't know what to do. They're like, wait a minute, he's the front runner? Wait a minute. What happened to the fat guy from New Jersey? He was talking a bunch of shit, but you know what? When it came down to I'm thankful, because I don't like Christie. I think he's just a fucking
Christie.
He just talks like that to try to get people, you know, riled up. But when you go deeper into what he's talking about, that dude's just a fucking blowhard, annoying bastard. I dislike that guy very, very much. And Hillary Clinton, she's doing nothing for me. So, I mean, it's crazy that I'm thinking, I hope Trump gets the nomination, because I'm voting for him.
So, moral of the story here is vote for @HitTheBid. motherfucking radio. All right, guys. Again, interact with us on Twitter. We're gonna tone it back towards some stock stuff. We got a lot of questions here, Kenny. We first question here from let's see, what do we got? First question here from at my dog's cool. Let me tell you right now, man. No dogs are fucking cool, man. Okay. Any thoughts on Nike? Any thoughts on Nike? So Nike is another bid up name, by the way, that they haven't sold off at all. I'm assuming he's wondering if he should bail out of his long position at some point.
I tell you, I wouldn't own any stocks right now. And going back to what you mentioned before, when you're talking about schmuckers as a buy, there's nothing to buy. There's nothing to buy. If you're looking that hard to rotate into something and to find something to buy, don't buy anything. Let it bleed. No, let it bleed, and then let it bleed some more, and then you'll be able to buy some stock that you like, 10% cheaper from where it is right now. I wouldn't put money in this market right now. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. So next question here at Wall Street Frank. Thoughts on natural gas futures and the UGAZ, which I believe is a ETF that tracks natural gas. I think natural gas is fucking useless too, and it's a very difficult vehicle to trade. I mean, I'm only scarred from my UNG debacle from when I was in Dominican Republic, up at 800,000, and then I came back home and I fucking lost money on that trade. But that's another story, man. So this UGAF. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but what's your thoughts on nat gas? UGAZ it is. I throw it in there with, if we don't need oil, what the hell do we need natural gas for, right? Natural gas should be saving the world. We've got more of it. We could use natural gas and even cut off more foreign oil, but we don't even do it. Everyone's afraid. Then you get the frackers. Fuck you.
And by the way, UGAZ, you'll love this shit. You will love this shit. Velocity shares, and that's a new ETF builder.
It's already a crime when you say velocity shares.
Yo, anytime you pull up something and it has velocity shares or Direxion or whatever the hell it is, fucking short it. Just fucking short it. 3 times long natural gas ETN, bro. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And guess what it's worth right now? It's $1.80. It's worth $1.80 right now, bro.
Oh man. What I'm looking to do is, if you want to do, I don't really know much about nat gas, but I am watching that USO, which is the oil and the
right.
Remember the UWTI? We had that.
Yes, $3 name, right? I haven't looked at that in a while. What's up?
And I was crying about selling it at like $3.30. I think it's under $1 now.
92 cents, boys and girls. 90.
When it hits 50 cents, I'm buying 1 million shares. All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
And who runs this ETF? Ding, ding, ding. Velocity shares.
Yeah. So when it hits 50 cents, I'll buy some, because I don't know. I think now that they're trying to, everyone's still trying to pick a bottom on oil. I mean, just let the bottom happen. Obviously, it didn't happen. We just broke a new low. Everybody was wrong. We look like we found some stability, 3-4 months ago. So now you got to let it bleed and let people cry. And I don't know if we're going to get a capitulation. I think, and that's what I think I'm looking for. I want that market where, you have 3 awful down days. I'm talking about in the market in general, where people are finally questioning, what have I done?
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't have bought the dip. Maybe this time it's not going to come back. We haven't had that fear. And even in oil, people are still saying, don't worry, $70 in 2 years, guaranteed. Really?
Yep.
Really? Just like you gold idiots out there, you still think it's going back to 2000, you fucking retards?
Man, crazy.
I hate you gold people.
I think Bitcoin is having some issues too. I think Bitcoin had a pretty scary session. We got a lot of people asking about Apple and Facebook, and again, like, people are hiding in Facebook right now. Facebook is definitely a name that is that people are definitely hiding in. And again, the more bullish, like if we end up over SPY 210. These can still be buys, but you saw the chart today. The thing hit, the thing was looking great, and then it dumped out a point. Apple dumped out, everything dumped out. No matter what, when people start selling the indexes, you're not going to be able to hide in these things for that long. So any longs that you guys are trying to put on, make sure you come in on the dip here when these call premiums are already washed out, and you just do some quick scalps, quick scalps. I mean, once we start getting a trend under us, and maybe in some miraculous way we start going back to these all-time highs, then maybe you can start putting some of these things back on the table. But just be weary, always think about the fade trade, because the fade trade right now is king. Fade trade right now is king. Any of these rallies are just getting faded intraday, over a couple of days, over a monthly period.
Right.
So anytime you get these like vol squeezes on your options, fucking sell them, sell out of your positions and sell that volatility. That trade is really working right now.
And with Apple, I don't know if this is just based on their shitty watch, which I don't.
Yeah,
get
Samsung,
it.
by the way, Samsung just came out with the Gear 2. They're talking about it's the Apple Watch killer and the Fitbit killer too, because they're trying to do all the technology or whatever that Fitbit is fucking doing in this thing. They're calling it the Apple Watch killer. Anyways, what were you saying there, Apple Watch?
Well, I mean, I'm an Apple user. Well, by the way, when I see something,
wait a minute. Anybody who uses Apple products, the correct term is Apple fuckboy. That is the correct term.
So I still have a 4. I've got 4 4s because I got my son a 6. I got my wife a 6. So I have their old phones, and I have 4 4s that I have to get through. I'm going for the most broken phone that still works. I didn't even know you could break the back of the phone. Look at that. That's gorgeous. It's like artwork. And it still works.
Yo, why does Daddy get the shit end of the stick, man? I mean, come on, you're giving the 6s all up to the wife and the kids, man. The kids even. I
credit that to my stingy Jewish upbringing. I don't until it has to embed a shard of glass in my skull, and then I'll say maybe I should get a new phone, or it really stops working. I don't buy things until it's the most necessity. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I still have my original iMac. Who has that?
I see. It's like this little trophy in the back. You know what? Quick question, off-brand question. How long have you had your current car? What car are you driving, and how many miles that bitch got on?
Well, my wife gets a new car every three years. So she's got the Audi, the truck, and I drive a Challenger. What's up? It's a 2010 Challenger. I only got 30,000 miles on it.
All right. So you're still brand new there. Check it out. I got a Matrix, and that shit has 210,000 miles on it. I'm still driving that fucking thing.
What? 210,000 miles?
210,000 miles,
wow. Baby. That's awesome.
Toyota, baby. Toyota.
That's my wife promised me we're going to try to make it to 100,000 miles on the Audi.
There you go.
Cars are the worst. Cars are the worst.
There you go, man. All right. So your comments there on Apple Watch.
Going back to Apple.
Yeah.
Eventually, there's and there's people like me. Once you're part of the Apple family, you can't break away. I'm not going to go Samsung or Android. So I'm basically I'm in for life. So when I get the new 6, not only am I buying the 6 that day, I'm buying a new iPad for my son, and I'm getting a new iMac for myself. So when I go into that store, I'm dropping $5,000 that day, Right. So, and I'm not the only guy that does that. So if you think Apple's got some problems, maybe it has some issues right now because people are taking the iWatch non-blockbuster event. You didn't have lines out the door and 3 people throwing parties and staying online 3 days in advance to buy the iWatch. So they're taking something off the top on the Apple. If you think Apple's going away, come on, man. If that stock ever was to break 100, that'll probably be the first thing I buy.
No doubt.
If they really start giving up on it. And you know what? Apple going down and still this market not going down, I still don't know how this market's levitating like it is.
Yeah, absolutely. SPX and the ES guys out there who are waiting for this move to happen, like move to other names. That's what I would say. Just move to some other sectors right now until you get some decent follow through type of action. On the ES and on the SPX. I mean, it's really tough to hold through some of these things.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, Kenny was able to do it. And there was a couple of guys here in with you on the trade. Some of them had some September options, and luckily they had some time, so premiums didn't get washed out that much. But even then, I mean, even if you're holding some time, you're still looking at what, 50% discount on your options.
Right.
You're still looking at being 50% down anyway. So some of these swings are absolutely wild, and you see the light volume too, man. So like, look at the last candle on the SPY today.
It is August.
We dropped 8 handles. We dropped 8 handles in a minute.
Right.
And we're still kind of going down in the after-hours session. So come on, man. There's no liquidity out here. Shit is all over the place. But this could lead to a very profitable fall and winter for us. Correct?
Yeah, as long as I'm on the freaking right side. Because every time I buy these puts, 2 days later, they're, either I've given back all the profit that I'm up or I'm losing money. And then you don't want to sell because you think, all right, maybe 2 days later from now, we'll go back down. Next thing you know, it's 2 weeks later. And next thing you know, it's expiration. You've lost money again and the market hasn't gone anywhere. So, and that goes back to, when I did Benzinga's show, and I was like, the only thing I want to do right now is I want to sell straddles or
sell premium. Right.
Well, not the straddles. Basically, it's called the strangle because I'm doing.
Right, you're going out of the money. You're going out of the money both sides, and you're just fucking selling everything.
Like on the Qs, my dad, we have set up. We sold December 115s on the QQQ, and we sold the puts. So you sell the calls, you sell the puts. So it stays in this range, they all expire worthless, and you get to keep the money. Obviously, when you have the market break out or break down, you start getting nervous on the ones that you have. But we're so far out of the money, that can the Qs go back to 90 by December? Sure, we could go back to 90 in a couple of bad sessions.
Yeah, a couple of crazy sessions. We could easily do that, especially with the liquidity right now too.
But the Qs are such in this crazy tight range. It's insane,
No doubt.
But what I wanted to talk to you before about was that one of the signs, and we've seen so many different signs, Hindenburg Omen, Death Cross, all that stuff. When a stock
and the Shemitah now, the Shemitah year. It is the blood moon, which tells us that stock market is going to crash.
It's funny. Maybe this is what he was talking about. Somebody mentioned this is some cycle. It's in every.
So there you go.
We're gonna be going down, but isn't it every? I don't know what he was. I think it was something similar. But
not to break it into tangent, but do you believe at all in the astrology shit? Like, do you look at that shit at all? Like, you know what I mean?
No.
I remember the battle that I got into with numerology on Twitter, and I went on a horrendous collapse, because this guy like sealed the death for me. He was like, yeah, July here, you're a Cancer here. That means you're going to lose all your money and shit.
Oh, man.
Sometimes that stuff gets stuck in your head, though, if you actually pay attention to this stuff. I can't believe the amount of people, though, that really attribute a lot of their success to astrology. I can't fucking understand. I can't understand it. I can't get it.
I knew a guy, he spent his life fortune trying to come up with some algo based on, astrology and the stars, and it didn't work out, obviously. But one thing.
Anyways, you had a topic, so let's close up here, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, what I was saying is that all the signs that we've been seeing that why the market should be going down. We have more signs ever before, but one of the things I like seeing is the dash for trash. Now, I don't know anything about AQXP, but I know
the dash for trash, man. I mean, you guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard about the AQXP, but this was a.
I don't know what it was. Maybe they have a breakthrough drug, but it went from $2 to $50.
Yeah. $2 to $50, and tanked all the way back down. Obviously, now the volume is completely kicked out of it. Right. It's trading at around $17. I mean, the fact that stuff like this still can happen in the markets, like it's crazy. It is fucking insane, man. So, guys, take a look at this when you get a chance. AQXP, and you're talking about the flight to trash, right? Everybody's just going for the action seems to be in this bullshit that nobody cares about.
Right. Now, whether or not I'm not saying I know anything about why it moved up, but generally when you see lunatic stocks like that, lunatic moves like that, only for it to come crashing right back down, it's just showing you that nobody's really committing any money to anything, and they're just looking for something to run and then just destroy it, and that's it. Usually it's a bad sign for the market, but we've seen that before, and this market just won't give up. So
I mean, you could also bring in all the IPOs, right? I mean, usually when we see that big flush of IPOs, that's coming around as sort of top of the markets, right? I mean, we've seen so many food groups IPO. We're still seeing the Planet Fitnesses of the world. Soul Cycle even just filed for an IPO. I don't know what else. There's tons of other bullshit sort of names that you never thought would go public. They're starting to show up. Yeah. What'd you say?
Yeah, speaking of that, Fitbit. Now,
Fitbit was another one. I mean, what a run! What a fucking run!
If you've seen any of my posts, I was a big fan of Fitbit. Just I figured, okay, now the stock's got momentum, probably going to hit 50. We got out at 50. It was a bad move for a second, but then turned out to be a good move. That stock is going to be a quarter because
I agree.
Not only will it's a fad, but not only is it a fad, but you're gonna see 300 different varieties of that thing come out of some Chinese company in the next 3 months. You're going to be able to get them for $10, and that company will be bankrupt within 3 years.
Right. And then you got Apple. Then you have the Apple Watches and the Google Watches. You know what I mean? Like that functionality is going to be there anyway. So
I mean,
I agree.
It was fun while it lasted. I would never own that stock. I mean, again, I'm looking at these really just awful, awful stocks for probably where I'm going to dip back in. You know, like Alcoa. I mean, this was my favorite stock at one point. I thought this would be in the 20s by now, but you know, nothing really worked out. You know, the commodity crashed, and nobody bought the F-150, and their jet engine parts are just, you know, I guess people aren't embracing what Alcoa is trying to become. So I think buying it, you know, I got some 850 looks like a level where it could hold, and then right below that, you got pretty much 10-year lows. So I think 750, maybe. I mean, this thing could go back to 585, bro. If that thing's at 750, I'm buying, like, I'm going out 2 years and I'm going to buy 750 calls for whatever they are and just hang on to them. It's not going out of business. I think I don't know why I got a hard on for Alcoa, but
you do. You certainly do. You certainly do. You certainly do. I think it should go long-term long UVXY though. Or anything with velocity shares, triple leverage short. I mean, you're getting options on a triple lever fucking ETF. What does that make us? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of leverage are we even talking about? Anyways, guys, we're going to wrap things up for this episode of Sang Lucci TV. Thanks for joining us. Again, continue to interact on Twitter. We're going to do these every Wednesday. You can follow Kenny at Hit the Bid Radio. And then you can find us both on YouTube at Sang Lucci and at Hit the Bid. For Kenny here, man. Kenny, thanks for joining, man, and we'll see you. We'll see you Wednesday, bro.
Yeah, always a good talk. Can we rename the show officially to the Brown Man and the Jew?
Let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it. That's it. The Brown Man and the Jew. That's it. Going forward, that is the name of the show. That's how I'm going to title all these. I'll even go back and retitle all these other ones before, and we'll work on. And guys, actually, we'll send it out to Twitter. Anybody who has suggestions on this show on how we can make it better or something that we can do or whatever to really pop it off, get more users, let us know. So hit us up on Twitter. Kenny, check you out, man.
Yo, good to seeing you. Oh, by the way, it's actually the Jew and the Brown Man. Sounds better.
So. Oh, my bad. You got to get the Jew first. You got to get the Jew first.
Jew and the Brown Man. Flows better like that.
All right, later, guys.
Be careful and good luck. Stay liquid, my friends.
And Shemitah, guys. Shemitah. I don't know if I'm saying this shit right, but listen, you're going to be dead in 2 weeks, according to Shemitah anyway. You might as well go get laid, drink, and, I don't know, just do illegal shit.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, man. Later, bro.
Later, man.